Hi y'all. So it's a natural point within the year to kind of start reflecting on what went right, what didn't, what changes want to be made. And so naturally this video is my reading goals for next year and my Booktube channel goals or my YouTube channel goals and the changes I want to make. Also, for those of you who have noticed I haven't really uploaded last year, there was kind of a lot of reasons for that. My 2019, I know a lot of people are going to say it was a really bad year. For me, it was a year of change, and the first, I would say, 6 months of the year was extremely stressful. And then there was a 2-month transition period for me, and then, we come up upon the end of the year. The first half of the year, I was looking for a new job. It was extremely stressful. The traction in my industry is very slow, so I felt like a failure. And it's all worked out. I got a new job. I love where I work. I love the people I work with. It's a really great experience. And I'm glad it worked out the way it did. It just made for a very stressful time. And so at the beginning of the year, I didn't really read. I would try to make videos and read, but then I would feel guilty for doing it. But at some point, I needed the distraction because stressing about it didn't help anything. And so that affected it. And then the transition and the new job has affected a lot of things too, because I don't work a normal schedule. I work in a hospital lab environment. And naturally, that means that not everybody works 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 or, the typical shift that the rest of the world seems to work on. In terms of the business sector professionals, right? So for me, I work a 12 to 8:30-ish, I say ish because there's a lot of nights get off later, shift. And that's a very interesting shift to work because since the rest of the world is still running on this normal day shift, I'm working in the hours that most people are off going and doing things, which makes it hard to find people to hang out with. And it also meant sleep-wise, I had to figure out a decent schedule, and I'm still working on that because here's the conflict, right? There's you can get up early, and it allows you to go through things like the bank, the post office, all of the things that most people would do after work, I have to do before because when I get off, all of those things are closed. The grocery store is still open, but I live in not the nicest area of town. So going out at night isn't necessarily the safest idea. Like, I still do it. If I need groceries after work, I'll still, even though I'm not getting home till about 9:15, I will then go to the grocery store. But I have to be hyper aware of my surroundings at that point. And as a single female, that is, it is a scary thing. But also, I'm not naturally a morning person, and I like to sleep in. So maybe this is a year I become a morning person. Maybe that's what I'm getting at. Doubtful, but I could win the lottery, just like I could become a morning person. It's doubtful, but it could happen. So on to the reading goals, which is why you're actually here. My reading goals for this year, one of it, which is just to get back in the habit of reading. I don't know if I'll be a morning reader or I'm thinking maybe nighttime before bed, because I have been trying to cut out all screen time about 30 minutes before bed because my sleep has been horrendous the majority of my life. I don't get great sleep. And one of the things that was suggested to me was to cut out all screens before bed. I also want to explore my own reading taste. Something that I think I made a video on earlier this year was that I felt like my tastes were changing. I was reading all of these books that I would have loved a year ago or 2 years ago even, but all of a sudden I wasn't connecting with the books. And I think this is the year I'm really going to explore the taste. If something sounds interesting to me, I'm going to read it, even if it's something that isn't necessarily my comfort zone, because maybe it will become a new comfort zone. In terms of my Goodreads goal, I'm putting it at 60 books. It's about 5 books a month. That is really obtainable for me if I'm reading regularly. When I read pretty frequently, I read anywhere between, I would say, 6 and 12 books a month, depending on if I'm listening to audiobooks and things like that, and how much time I devote to it. So 5 books a month is pretty easy. There's 4 weeks in a month and 1 extra book somewhere in there. Totally doable if at mid-year I decide, I'm not going to reach that, I'll lower it. It's no big deal. Goodreads lets you do it. That's why I love Goodreads. Along with that, just something I'm going to mention, it's not necessarily a goal, but I signed up to be a judge for the Booktube prize, the nonfiction prize. And so because of that, there will be a lot of nonfiction books on my channel during kind of that period that I'm selected to be a judge. If I get the opportunity to do that, I'm definitely taking it. But I've been loving, over the past few years, I've started to realize that I've really been enjoying nonfiction more. I stopped reading it when I graduated high school and went to college because I naturally was reading more nonfiction in the terms of scientific journals and historical journals. And so because of that, you know, and news articles and things like that. And so because of that, I really wasn't picking up nonfiction books, right? I've been doing that for pleasure and I've really been enjoying it. Another goal, and this is a goal, I want to do one themed reading challenge or one themed like reading month or reading week at some point during the year. I haven't decided what that theme is going to be. It could be reading all books set in a particular country. It could be reading just about superheroes. It could be reading books on a particular topic. I haven't decided, but I want to do a themed reading challenge month, week of reading somewhere this year. I want to join a read along or a buddy read, and I have decided recently which one this is going to be. I'm going to do the Lunar Chronicles read along, and I'm at least going to do book 1. The plan is to do all 4 books that April is hosting. I will leave her channel down below, her and I forget the other person that's doing it. They're doing it for their book club, and I'm joining along with that because that's going to be a lot of fun. I've been wanting to reread particularly the first 2 books, and I never got to the 4th, and so this is the perfect chance for me to get to that. And there's been a couple of videos I've wanted to make about the books in the Lunar Chronicles series. I hope that I still love them as much as I did when I first read them. And the last reading goal is I want to participate in 4 readathons this year, one of which will probably be the Reading Rush, and I haven't decided about the other 3. If I get to do more, that's great, but I want to do at least 4. And just kind of a change that's happening is going to be, instead of monthly TBR videos, I'm going to try out more like TBR talk videos, which is what Doris from All the Books does. And I love that style of, these are kind of the readathons I'm wanting to do. This is the types of books that I think I'm going to pick up this month, but it's not like a list of books I necessarily have to get to because, let's face it, I don't ever stick to that. I like the idea of pulling a shorter list together to pick from, but I don't like picking an exact list. So I'm going to try that style of video. You guys can let me know whether or not you like it. And on to my channel goals and changes that are going on this year. My big one is to be consistent. I want to post 1 to 2 videos a week. I feel like that's really doable for me. It's going to be a lot of work, but I can do it. I just have to focus and nail it and plan it out, but I'm going to do it. This has kind of been a goal for about two years now, but this is the year. I'm convinced this is the year, and if this is your goal too, we're in it. We're doing this. I feel like I'm in a very unique position in terms of somebody who has a Booktube channel and a YouTube channel in general. I've been doing it for 5+ years. I think this will be my 6th or 7th year on Booktube, and I have a very small channel, and I love where it's at. I love knowing all the commenters. There's no pressure for me, and it's a very safe place. I took a break this summer, and I needed it. It had become a toxic environment for me because of some negative people online, but taking a step back, I realized why I did it in the first place and what I love about it, and because of that, I'm in a very content place with my channel. A lot of people you'll hear in their videos this year about their goals and everything is they want to obtain a certain subscriber amount, or they want to get monetized, or you'll hear on Twitter people saying, oh, I don't know why my channel's not growing, yada, yada, yada. My channel is small, and I'm happy with it. I'm content with it. And because of that, I want to be more transparent with the behind the scenes of having a small channel. I want to share my analytics. I want to try different things. There's all these tips and tricks on how to grow your channel. And because I'm content with where I'm at and I'm grateful for all of the people that watch my videos, I feel like I'm the perfect person to share my experience and to try some of these things, because if they don't work out, I'm not bummed, right? I'm just trying it out. I'm having fun. I'm experimenting. I'm seeing what happens, and then I'm sharing those results with you and maybe to some people who aren't content. And then it's like, well, I tried it, and if it didn't work out, then at least you didn't waste your time and effort. And I didn't waste mine because I wasn't trying to get anywhere. I was just seeing to see what happens and to see if I had fun trying a new style of editing or trying a new style of doing my descriptions or new thumbnail styles and things like that. I feel like I'm in the perfect position to experiment and to have fun and to share with you what it's really like, because I am not one of those people who has a huge growth, and I'm not monetized and this isn't my income. So I can make videos that don't get watched, and it's okay as long as I'm happy. And so I want to share that. If you're interested in the behind the scenes of having a booktube, or even if you're not into booktube and for some reason you just stumble across this, but a YouTube channel in general, what the analytics look like and what different tips and tricks, if those really pan out, if you're interested in that, I think I want to show that. I want to show my real numbers. I want to do screenshots and screen recordings from month to month and showing what worked for me and what didn't, and what things I did that maybe that worked but I don't enjoy and so won't do going forward, or things that didn't work but videos that I enjoyed making anyways, or things that I enjoyed doing with my thumbnails anyways, so I'm going to continue to do even though the numbers didn't work out because it made me happy. But you can know that this maybe didn't work, and so if your goal is to grow your channel, then maybe don't do what I do, right? Or if it worked, then you know something that worked from somebody who is small, who's not big. I think these tips and tricks for people who are bigger, for them to work, that's great. But when you're small, it's different, especially when you're in a very small baby sector of YouTube. Booktube is very different from a lot of the other spheres because it is so small. It is so tight-knit of a community that some of the things that, really experienced people in search engine optimization and channel growth and stuff in general, they're not from these super tiny sectors of YouTube. And I want to share what it's like from those small sectors, and my sector being Booktube. And so if you're interested in that, I'd love to have you along on my journey. I would love if there's things that you've wanted to try out, but maybe you haven't because you don't know if it's worth that time investment, or let me know. I'm interested in trying things, and I'm interested in your suggestions, things that, if there's colors for my thumbnail, that you hear that colorology is a thing and red makes people watch, or whatever it is. I'm very interested to try these things, so let me know. And I am interested to hear your goals, your feedback, things that you would want from my channel going forward, videos of mine that you like making, you're not making them, I'm making them, but you like watching. Let me know. And my only other goal is, when I watched other people's Booktube videos, I want to do a better job on commenting, because 1 or 2 comments will make my entire day. And knowing that has the power to make my day, knowing that probably has the power to make other people's days, especially the smaller channels, because you're not guaranteed a comment on a video. Larger channels that have, 1,000-2,000 subscribers, they get comments on every single video. We smaller channels, we're not guaranteed that. And so because of that, I think comments are more precious, and they're also more uplifting. And so I want to do my best to also spread that, because I've been the recipient of that joy for the past 5 years. And so I want to spread that a little bit more. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope 2020 is better for you than 2019. And I will see y'all later. Bye, y'all.